If you're bidding on your own brand in Google Shopping, or even thinking about it, this video is going to save you money, protect your incrementality, and help you avoid one of the biggest hidden traps in Google Ads. Brand traffic looks amazing on paper. It's cheap, it converts, it makes your ROAS dashboard look like you cracked the code. And that's exactly why many advertisers fall into the trap. Google will always overspend on branding terms unless you force structure in place. And when it does, it distorts your numbers, overstates your performance, and quietly pulls budget away from channels that actually generate new customers at a higher incrementality rate. If you're bidding on your own brand name in Google Shopping, you might be burning money on customers who are already going to buy from you. But if you are bidding on your brand name, then you're almost certainly losing some sales to competitors or Amazon, for example. This is the brand shopping trap. Most marketers treat brand campaigns as like a binary choice, either always run it or never run it. But the truth is much more complex. In this video, I'll break down why brand bidding isn't inherently wrong, but it's often misleading. I'll break down what the best incrementality research actually says, including findings from an analytics company called Haus, why shopping makes brand protection far more complex, how to evaluate when brand spend truly matters for you, and finally I'll show you the priority ladder structure to fix your account so that you stop inflating your ROAS with vanity metrics. But first, why should you listen to me? So I'm Zach, my agency has managed millions of pounds in monthly ad spend for some of the fastest growing e-commerce brands in the UK. We don't just run ads, we act as a growth partner for 7- and 8-figure e-commerce brands. I see the back-end financials of these companies every single day. I see what actually drives profit, not just what looks good on a Google Ads dashboard. And the strategy I'm about to show you is the exact same one we use to protect the brand of our biggest clients from wasting budget. The incrementality paradox. First, let's look at the argument. So your CFO hates brand spend. They see you paying for click from people searching your name, and they say, why pay? They already know us. Technically, they're right. On the spectrum of cold prospecting to a loyal customer, a brand search can be quite non-incremental. You're catching demand from people who already know of you, not creating it. However, really interestingly, the Haus study revealed that there are 3 critical nuances that most people miss. It's actually the level of competition that drives incrementality. So if you're the only one in the auction, then brand spend tends to be a waste. But the moment a competitor enters the auction, incrementality spikes. So in auctions where competition is really high, 82% of brands saw a significant lift by bidding on their own name. Why is that? Because if you aren't there, the customer may see a competitor's deal right before the point of purchase. So they've searched for your brand, but they've seen someone else, and then they're going to leave that purchase path and purchase from somewhere else. There's also the channel shift, Amazon versus direct to consumer, which is a massive one if you're on Amazon. If you sell on Amazon and your own site, then turning off those brand ads doesn't just lose the sale, it might shift that sale to Amazon, which may or may not be important for you depending on your overall strategy. The study showed a 5% share shift from DTC to Amazon when brand ads were paused. If your margins are better on your own site, then maybe bidding on brand might make more sense for you. New versus existing customers, this is another interesting point. The data point changes your strategy. Brand search drives a 1.7 higher lift for new customers than for existing ones. Existing customers will find you anyway, but new customers are easily swayed by competitors. The lesson here is that you should be aggressively targeting new customers with your brand advertising, excluding existing customers via your Klaviyo lists and your website purchases from your main brand campaign to ensure that you're only targeting new customers. The shopping specifics. Now you might say, okay, I'll just run a brand shopping campaign then. But Google Shopping is tricky in search. In shopping, Google aggressively retargets users based on their browsing history. If you combine brand and generic products into one campaign, Google will flood your budget into brand because it's just easy conversions. There's also two myths around this. Number one is that we need 100% impressions share. You don't. You don't need to be in position 1 for every single search. You just need enough presence in the auction to be able to monitor it and get auction insights. Often 10 to 20% would be enough to defend against poachers without paying a premium for every single impression. The second myth is that if we just keep bidding higher, then we'll completely outbid all the competitors. Google uses the second priced auction, and if you're already winning and you raise your bid, then you aren't crushing the competition, you're just increasing the headroom and raising that ceiling, which means that the competitors can keep bidding more and then you end up spending more as well. You're training your competitors to make the auction more expensive for you rather than cheaper. The solution, the priority ladder.
So here's how you handle all of that complexity, separating out your brand traffic from your generic traffic in Google Shopping. There's 2 main things you need to focus on. So the first one is having 2 campaigns and then setting the priority levels different within them. So within the brand campaign here, we set the campaign priority to low, then we come into the generic campaign and we set the campaign priority to high. That creates a filter Because the generic campaign is set to high, Google prioritizes that first. All of the traffic comes through there first, and then anything that doesn't come into there filters through into the brand campaign. Second way we maintain that split is through negative keywords. So we come into this generic campaign here, and we've got brand generics as in lists, and we've got brand generics also in all negative keywords. So make sure all of your brand generic keywords are in there, and then this segmentation should start to work. The other thing you need to look at is your bidding. You'll want a different bidding strategy probably to start off with between the two. I would start with your brand campaign on a manual CPC so that you can really control bidding. You want to maximize that impression share at the lowest possible CPC. So start with your historic data, find where that CPC bid tends to maximize your impression share, and start there. After time, if it's stable, then you can move to target ROAS, as we have here. We've got target ROAS on 2000 and we've got generic on 800. So all you have to remember is 2 separate campaigns with keywords segmented between the 2 of them and separate targets between them. That's all you need to remember, and you should be good to go with segmenting out your brand shopping campaigns into brand and generic.
We can audit your setup in 48 hours and show you exactly where this leak is. Click the link below to book a strategy call with us. Don't pay the vanity tax. Spend smarter. Thanks for watching.